huh? This ain't nothing new, it's what we been doing. This ain't nothing new, it's what we been doing.
What up, YouTube? Welcome to this webisode of What We've Been Doing. Today we're gonna pull the dent on this green truck here, and we're gonna change the color with a rattle can. I bought this truck for $2 grand. I bought the wheels for like $200, so I figured, I can see if I could do this. You see, this is the damage. You seen in the previous picture, the other side was pretty clean, but that's the damage it had. I'm going to pull the dent out the fender, and I'm going to replace the door. What you see in here is the aftermath of me taking the door off. This is how I was going to originally do the films when I started this whole YouTube thing. I actually did this truck a while back, and I didn't decide to do it, and now I'm doing it. And so this happened a while ago though, like a couple months. And so this is the door being removed. I was just going to do progression photos. And that was my plan on how to approach this YouTube thing, but we're going to do both now, I suppose. See, so the door is open here. And I ended up getting the door off of 03 Tahoe at the junkyard. So you see I had to debadge it and all that other stuff. And I had already started working on pulling that dent. I did it old school style, drilled, screwed, and a pull hammer, slide hammer. And I'm going to pretty much build that mold line. You see it's bad. You'll see it's about to get good. I built it with Bondo glass, and then I primered it. This truck wasn't originally supposed to get rattle canned, but it looks stupid with the blue door and a gray fender, and so I just said, why not? Let's do some rattle can. I didn't have a compressor to paint the truck. The truck is still awaiting to be painted, but it wasn't going to look like this, what you're seeing right here. And so I started off, and you see a progress. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do the door and the fender. And then I was like, nah. Then I ended up doing the whole cab, and then I ended up doing the bed, and then it turned into a full-on rattle can project. So this is primer right here that you're looking at, and this is me masking off all this stuff because I chose to go with the black and gray as you've seen in the previous photo. But this is the primer, and I'm gonna end up going to go get like some gloss gray, like a gray thing. I'm a F-15 crew chief by trade, and I just thought it'd be cool to have that F-15 color gray for my truck. And see, this is how I did the lettering and that side molding. That's still all the same side molding. I had to like lay something heavy on that side molding to flatten it out because that was from the dented door. This is when I wet sanded it outside. I took it outside. I just used a water hose, and I just went over the whole thing and got it real flat. And as you can see, this isn't even the gloss paint on it yet, but it's still shining pretty decent. And I'm gonna be putting the gloss paint on it pretty soon. The pictures will show up, and it didn't really even change, but so it looks pretty good at this point. And then the video of the glossy, after it's all glossy, it'll show up. And so this is after I put the first coat of gloss paint, and this is all rattle can. You see that reflection? I thought I did a pretty good job if I wanted to pat myself on the back. This is the truck. These are my $200 rims, and I started to film that. So you guys will get a little taste of the film. I'll come in and tell you guys what's going on, but I'm just going to show you the curb rash. See, it had a little like surface pitting almost from the guy that I got it from, but I mean, they weren't bad rims, and they're 22-inch wheels, and I bought them for $200. So what can you say about it? And like I said, this is my budget truck. It's something I can do anything with it, but I'll just let you listen to what I'm saying, I guess.
I already got the sander and put up some of the rough edges of curb rash. Now I'm about to put some glazing putty. I don't think I have it used for Bondo. It's not that bad. So glazing putty, sand it down, and sand all them rough areas. I'll get back at you when I'm done doing that. All right, I got the rim all cleaned
Yeah,
up.
so you see,
Marks is all gone.
I smoothed out a lot of the
Nothing
curb
showing
rash. You
inside
see,
of
I
it.
got
The you
some
know
um
the
some glazing
curb
putty over there
rash
and those little marks that were left
to the
over
sink is
behind.
about
And the
600.
rim is pretty
A little
smooth
lazy
right
boy.
now.
I'm
And
not
I
gonna
mean, I
put
did
this
it with
stuff
a
on there
light.
plastic dip because I'm not
I
gonna
went
use
over it with
lights.
like
I just
1200
use
or
it
something
as
like that.
for
Real, it
painting
was
colors
real
and stuff.
polishy type
But
stuff. And
I
like I
know
said,
what
I'm
I'm gonna
using
do. I'm
Plasti
gonna take
Dip.
this
I don't think I even
tire
said it.
off
I'm using Plasti Dip on these wheels
and
anyway,
use
so
sheet
it
paper.
didn't really matter if I scuffed the
You know, most
paint
people use
because
white tar,
Plasti Dip will
but
stick
I'm cheap like that,
to
so
it anyway.
I'm
So,
not about to go buy no index
or
cards.
scuff the wheels, I'm sorry. And
I'll get back
but
at you
I'm gonna show you
when I get my
what
first
I
load
did.
in.
First, I decided that I was gonna mask it with paper and tape, and I was being cheap, and
All
it took
right,
really
quick
long. So I had
come
these
back from the
cards.
hood.
These are
It's
actual
all
like
good.
football cards that were laying around. They're just
I had to pay
pictures
for
of
the sheet paper,
nobodies,
like I said.
and
I just sold scrap
I
paper. I
just
was gonna
used that
trade it
to
anyway.
shield the wheel.
That shit was taking
They
long as
worked out
fuck.
pretty
I
good
rather
for
got
me.
cards that I don't care for. They ain't worth shit, so
And,
let me get spray painted.
yeah, so
And nonetheless, I can use them over again on the other three wheels. So that's a bonus. I had those in the mix, but yeah, get back at you after the first coat.
all right, and that's the first coat, I believe, after putting the cards on it.
Use the lighting,
So
garage ain't set
came
up.
out pretty good. I was pretty proud of myself at that
First
point.
coat. I'm hoping it's looking good in the back down there. But that's it right there. Second coat
What
before
I'm
I
actually
go in the
checking for
second.
right now, because I was really worried that, you know, when you're painting a complex piece like that, you don't really you know if you're gonna get all the angles.
I figured I'd give y'all some footage of me listening. This is what I'm using, man. I ain't using no gun. I
See,
ain't
I'm
using
just
nothing.
showing that that's what I use. No
I'm just
spray gun, just straight rattle can
laying this
all
shit
day,
on
every
there,
day.
trying to
At
get
least until I get my gun and my compressor, and then we're gonna do some
ease
real
the
paint
truck in.
jobs
I ain't using too much
because
of
the
a white
truck's gonna
brush. I
get
got a regular old
resprayed. I
paint
think
pen.
it's gonna be white
I'm not
when I'm
taking no
done with it.
selfies on this video.
And not to mention, I've never painted before, and to make a black truck or a dark color, you know, all those that rookie shows up on those dark colors. You know, you do it light, that rookie don't show up too well unless you're unless you're really looking for it, you know. And I'm a terrible cameraman. What I'm trying to illustrate here is like how I'm painting it. Like I was doing this coat for the camera so that the camera can be shown how I'm painting it with the deal, and I suck at it. I can't keep it on the product and focus on painting it at the same time.
Anyway, look, I'm a terrible cameraman right now, but hopefully I got some good shit on there. Working my way around. Making sure I get it all even. Next rim I'll show you. So it goes from being chrome to black. I'll finish this up and start on the next rim.
So what I found was easy is like if you focus on the hard to get spots, and then you can get the face. Like I wouldn't even worry about the face of the rim yet. You just get on those hard in between cracks, and all the rest of that stuff will get covered, especially with your initial coats and stuff, and it'll lay down. And this Plasti Dip lays down awesome, like no skill required. Right there I'm showing like areas where I missed a spot. You saw a little orange that was from the glazing putty that was left over. But overall, the rim turned out really, really nice. And with this Plasti Dip, you gotta like take the masking away before it dries, because it'll bridge, and it'll pull away. It'll pull like what you want. So it was wet, and I was able to like touch up those areas that didn't get covered so well just because it was still wet or tacky.
Pitting over there, I'm gonna get rid of all that.
So I'm showing pitting right here,
600 grit.
showing some of the damage. That's what I use. I used a Dremel with the little sandpaper bit on it, and that worked out pretty good as far as flattening the curb rash on these rims out. And so I worked all that down, and then I got some regular sandpaper, some different grit sandpaper, and voila, these are the wheels right here. He's sitting in my garage. They're curing at this point. That's what they ended up looking like. I think they turned out pretty good. Pretty good. And this is like a few days later. The truck is dirty. I ended up throwing the wheels on. I had just thrown the wheels on the truck. It was like nighttime, so I took it by the garage, the gas station, so I can get a good picture of it because I was trying to get this video made, and so I did it. But I'm gonna end up taking some pictures of it in the daylight in the morning so you can see what it looks like. But that's what it ended up being. That's my budget rattle can truck right there.
Huh? This ain't nothing new, it's what we been doing. This ain't nothing new, it's what we been doing. What we been doing. What we been doing.